Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll be looking at business environments today. And it's a very critical part of every business because when you are living in a house and you are not aware of what goes on in your community, then Yorubas used to say, the man say, eh? And you don't know, you are not aware of what is going on. Before you know it, they will not put at the back of your back, they will not put at your backyard. There's a Yoruba saying like that. So that's the way it is also in business. So if you look at yourself, where you are standing presently or where you are sitting now, just look around. Look around. You can see some things, Abby. If you look around, you will see. So definitely look at yourself as the business, and then the environment are the things you are looking at. So where you are at the moment, so many things can happen that can affect you, either positively or negatively. And it's very important for you to be aware of those things. So when we say business environment, what exactly are we saying? Is the sum total of all individuals, institutions, and other forces that are outside the control of a business enterprise. Take note of that. Outside the control of a business enterprise. But the business still depends upon them as they affect the overall performance and sustainability of the business. So those businesses still rely on those things, on those factors, those environments, because one way or the other, they affect the operations, the workability, the technicality, anyhow, of that business. So that is what we'll be looking at today. We'll be trying to look at different aspects and then see how exactly they affect our businesses. We'll look at it from the aspect of, in our discussion, we start up and then look at, our corporate or established organizations, and then see how business environments can actually hamper on their uh, effectiveness and the efficiency, such that it can build them and it can kill such businesses. So, what are the characteristics of a business environment? Every business environment is considered to be complex. And that's why they always say that business is war. So, if you are not prepared to actually fight that war, then that means you are not ready to own or start a business. Complexity. Business environment is complex. There are a lot of things happening, a lot of people working against you, a lot of people working for you, either to bring you up or to bring you down. Part of it, we have investors that can be watching you from afar. And over time, maybe after a year, 2 years, they might just reach out to you and say, oh, we have interest in your business. So they are considered as what? Business environment from afar. And they've seen the potential in your business. And they say, yes, we want to invest in this business. Another complexity in the business environment are competitors. The competitors are constantly watching you, watching your moves, watching the products, everything you are coming up with, and they are looking at it. Okay, can we quickly copy this? Can we quickly do this the way he's doing it? Before you know it, they might even do it even better than the way you are thinking about it. So those are the complexities that run the businesses. And if you are not prepared for them, then it can affect the sustainability of your business. And Olua, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So when we say dynamism, what exactly do you understand by that? Business environment is dynamic. What do we mean by that? Hello?
Uh,
What
are
do
you
you mean
asking?
by? Yes, I'm asking you a question.
Oh, okay. When we say business environment is dynamic, we can say that it's constantly changes. Like changes can occur due to maybe technological advancements,
Correct.
maybe
Yeah, I
government
agree with you.
is
Yeah, you're correct. Very correct. So that means it's not static. You cannot think the way you did business last year is the same way you are going to do it this year. It's dynamic. Things are changing. Your consumers, your customers are expecting new things, innovations. They want to see you coming up with different ideas, different products that is going to give them wow moments. And then they can always pay for your services. Multifaceted nature. That means there are different things happening all around. And you cannot just focus on one and say, oh, once I've taken care of the legal aspect of it, I think my business will move on. No, the market aspect is there. You have to make sure that the market is what? Is intact. And you have so many things you have to do when it comes to marketing. And that because that is the main engine oil of the organization for you to get revenue. You must reach out to your customers. You must ask for them their feedbacks and then see how you can improve on your products and what have you. And apart from that, there are so many other things that I can also look at apart from marketing. You might need to build a platform because of this technological uh, advancement that is going on across the globe. And by doing that, you will need technical people. So, in other words, you have to look at the technical aspect of it. Who are the people that are knowledgeable enough or they are skillful enough to build you a wonderful platform that is going to serve your customers? So those are the areas you need to look at. So it's multifaceted. You cannot just consider look at one and then you just keep living there and then you avoid the other one. Beside all these two that I've mentioned, there's also operations. That is the day-to-day operation, the day-to-day running of the business. Is very key because you might have some working customers that will need to. So you might need the customer service, you know, that will attend to them. So those are the things you need to look at and consider every nature, every aspect that can affect your business. Also, we have uncertainty. When we talk of uncertainty, that means you are not sure of what will happen in the future. You are not sure of what will happen tomorrow in a business environment. Government can just come up with different policy and say so. Before you know it, it changes the dynamism of that business. So certainty is not sure. You cannot say, oh, because I operated last year with this and I was able to make this revenue, or my customers were able to pay for my services, then I'm going to do the same thing this year without actually innovating or adding new ideas. Uncertainty. Then also we have interrelatedness, such that you have every aspect of the business environment being what? In interrelated. One is linked to the other, and the other, and the other, like that. So you need to constantly watch and see which one exactly is affecting the other more, and quickly you checkmate it, especially if it's in a negative direction. So interrelatedness, they are related. The marketing is related to operations, related to you know, especially the marketing, also to the technical aspect. Because when they go to the field, they get information, they come back and say, this is what our customer said. about this feature. And then the technical people will quickly make adjustment and work on them. In the business, you might also have some people that may want to fight you. And that's where the legal aspect is important. So every aspect is what is important. You won't say, okay, because somebody has taken you to court, you will not go to that court. You must go and say your own. Okay, this is what is happening and all that. Defend yourself in the court of law. Is that clear, Anolua? Are we
Yes, sir.
together?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so I want you to talk to me about the relativity of a business. What exactly do we mean when we say relativity? What do we mean?
I would say relativity means that for a business environment, it differs from one country. Like the environment in one country differs. In an industry too, it differs. In organization, it differs from each other.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you because we have locations, and that's why we talk of local businesses and international businesses. If I have a business running in Ibadan, does not mean that because the business is moving in Ibadan, if I move to Lagos or Port Harcourt, I must still run it the way I'm running the one in Ibadan. No, that is what this one is talking about. So it's relative. You have to look at their environment, look at their situation, look at the customers there. You have to do your survey and then see, okay, how do I serve my customers better in this locality? And that's what we call relativity. And when you make the business into international level, you won't say because the business is successful in Nigeria, then you must run it the way you are running it in Nigeria. Either in Ghana or maybe in United States of America. It doesn't work that way. You have to consider the environment where the new business is moving to. Another thing is the far-reaching impact of your business. Is your business actually having impact on the community? And that is very critical. Is it giving a positive impact or negative impact? How is it changing the lives of the people around you? And that is where the CSR comes in. Corporate social responsibility. How are you adding value to the community or the environment that is surrounding you? So this is very critical. Are we together? Are we together? Okay, I think Madam Blessing is here now, Galaxy A15. Okay, so uh, the last one is the first mover advantage.
It's
So
gift,
let me leave it, Mrs. Is it Blessing? Am I correct?
gift.
Gift. Oh,
Gift,
okay.
sir.
Sorry, you won't mind me. I might
Yeah.
ask you one or two times again before your name sticks to my brain. I don't
Yes,
really
sir. No
remember
problem,
I
sir.
don't remember people's name easily. But once I remember, once I get it,
No
I won't
problem, sir.
forget again. Gift. Okay. And that's the name of
Yes.
my daughter. So I shouldn't forget this one
Yeah,
now.
okay. So you are my daddy now.
Sarah. So
Yes,
that's the
sir.
name of my third child. So no problem. I won't forget.
Good
Okay, so
morning, sir.
how are you doing today, madam?
Fine, thank you, sir. Sorry
So
for entering me.
talk to us about the crisis of business environment, especially when we talk of the first mover advantage. What happens? How does it operate? I want to hear from you.
Okay, one should be your location.
I mean the
Location where you look.
first mover advantage.
The first,
Mover advantage.
okay, that's changing of location.
Okay, go on.
If I
Maybe there's
understand.
something you want to come out from, you want to tell us from that. Okay, let's go on.
Okay,
I'm listening.
like the way I understand Uber advantage is like changing the location of your business or like moving your business from where you are to another location. The first
No,
thing to put in place
that's
is,
not that's not the first mover advantage.
okay, sir,
Let me
I'm
give you another
listening.
opportunity. Try. You can still do better. Look at the name. First mover. First mover. It's just like the way it is. Advantage.
Okay, first mover. Should it be the idea, the business idea?
Go ahead. Yeah, you're getting it. So,
The,
mhm.
the business idea. Sir,
Go
please
ahead.
help me.
Okay. So when you talk of first mover advantage, that
Mm,
means when you are starting that business, you look around and there's nobody
mm,
that is in that kind of business.
okay.
You understand what I'm saying? As at
Yes,
that
sir.
time. And that is an opportunity for you, it's an advantage for you to actually quickly move and scale
Mm,
that kind of business. First mover. You can look
okay.
around. For example, let me give you an example. When WhatsApp started, that time all we were aware of was just Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, Google Messenger, those things, just send message, whether through the mail or you chat through the mail and whatever. But when WhatsApp
Mm,
came, it was a first mover advantage because most people will rather send email and be expecting after a few days, especially in Nigeria. I could remember that time. If I want to send maybe to one organization, I want to send to my friend or my parents or whatever, I will go to the post office and I will go and send. But the
mm.
idea was just so distinct, such that if you send a message now, the person will get it in the next
Now
second.
get response.
So it's a first mover
Yeah.
advantage for WhatsApp. And that's the reason they were able to scale so fast. And people are using it. And you can see now they've moved even into business now. How you can actually use WhatsApp in your business to actually move your business forward. So those are the kind of first mover advantage that can happen.
Okay.
So ideas can come. You too can have an idea. And then you can say, oh, I've looked around and nobody is actually doing this kind of business as at this time. So it's an opportunity for you to quickly step it up and be able to scale. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So those are the characteristics of the business environment. So let's look at the impact of government policies on business. We are aware that every business is under the control of the government. We may look at it either indirectly and say, oh, okay, how? But you agree with me. But government policies can change the nature or the state of your business at every point in time. And that's the way it operates.
Yeah.
Look at this number one, taxation. January 2026, things changed in Nigeria, and every business is aware that they have to pay tax, especially either to deduct it from the salary of the employee as what? As the personal income tax. Or they pay directly from their profit as the company income tax. And this is compulsory. You have to pay your tax. And that's why the tax law that was gazetted last year became operational this January 2026. And every company is quickly adjusting because it has impact on their businesses. If you don't do it, the government has the prerogative to close down that business if you don't pay your tax. So it becomes necessary now in Nigeria for every business to shine their light on that area and see how they can fulfill the tax regulation and make sure that tax is paid to the government as at when due. Number two, subsidies and incentives. We don't need to talk too much on this. We know what has been going on in the country since 2023, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of Nigeria. And he said, we are removing the subsidy on petrol. And you will see what happened. A lot of things happened in Nigeria. So many businesses were affected, some closed down, some struggled, and some are still struggling. And you will see that even some that are actually benefiting from these subsidies are to fight the government tooth and nail. But is it possible to actually fight the government? No. The policies have been placed, and you have to follow it. Government made rules and regulations to make sure that they do what? They can checkmate every activity of every business. Subsidies and incentives. So when subsidies were removed, you will see that things started changing. And this led to what? Inflation across the country. Some businesses, for them to survive, they have to jack up the pricing, increase the prices of their products. And this was seen across board in the nation. Then we have the incentives as well. The government might say, oh, okay, for example, one of the incentives is, okay, if you are working in any company and you are earning below 800,000 naira per annum, then you are not going to pay any tax. That's part of it. So they've given you that benefit. And then if you're also a startup, they may ask you maybe to operate for the next 5 years and say, oh, or maybe until when you are able to make profit before you can start paying your tax. So those are part of the things. Then also incentives also come, like in some petroleum company, like don't they give them pioneering and all that, such that they give them certain number of years to operate without actually paying tax. So those are the policies of government and how they can affect our businesses. Regulations and compliance. Anoloa, I want you to talk to me about this. What do you understand about regulations and compliance? And how will this affect our business?
Based on regulations and compliance. Huh? There are several government regulations, maybe in terms of environmental, like for instance in Lagos State, and they've implemented it now in Ogun State, that in Lagos State too, that environmental should be observed. So if for that period a business cannot run, a business cannot function. And also there are some laws based on some goods. There are some consumer laws that guide some goods. So in terms of regulation, businesses are expected to comply to those regulations and to those standards.
Correct. I agree with you. And that's the way it works. Our example of this is, if you look at this NAFDAC, you see that so many things are actually going on in the country as at this time. When so many people are trying to make money from illegal businesses, and they start, importing fake drugs. Some are even producing fake drugs in Nigeria. And so the NAFDAC actually regulates this and make sure that there's, they follow the rules, the regulations, and then they comply with them. So they set out their forces, task force, to actually observe and watch these businesses and catch those that are actually going against the regulation. So this is an example. So infrastructure development. Infrastructure development is a great one. For every country to survive, they must invest in capital projects. Capital projects are very important to make sure that businesses thrive and survive in every nation. One of the capital projects is road construction. If the road to where you are going to run your business is smooth and is good, definitely it takes you a shorter time to actually carry out your business, and then you come back to doing another one. So infrastructure is good. Another one is what? Is electricity. It's part of the infrastructure that is expected by government to do what? To put in place. If the electricity is intact, look at the situation in the country, in Nigeria. That is one of the singular reasons why most businesses in Nigeria fail, because there's no light. There are a lot of businesses that depend on this to survive. And when it's not possible, then they close down. Another thing they can fall on is the petrol, and say, oh, they get generator and all that. But you can see, petrol is also on the right side. How many people will run a successful business with the present amount or price of petrol that they're selling in the country? So you will see that this is part of the things that can actually affect, affect the country, affect the businesses. Infrastructure. You can also look at maybe something like bridge. They've realized that there's a particular place where there's always traffic. And most of the businesses that are transporting their things, they spend hours, especially in Lagos, hours on the road before they reach their destination. Something that can take them only 45 minutes. They spend 3 hours on the road. And then the government says, okay, to actually reduce this, let's build an overhead bridge such that some people can pass there and others can pass at the lower level. Infrastructure development. This will definitely have positive impact on the government, on the business. Mrs. Gift, monetary and fiscal policies. I want you to first of all tell us what you understand by that. Just briefly, even though we'll still take it. And then, how do you think this will have impact on businesses in Nigeria, especially? So I'm listening. Madam Gift, are you there? Okay, I don't think she's with us anymore. Okay, so Anolua, you want to help? Monetary and fiscal policies. How do you think this will have impact on
Are you
business?
hearing me, sir?
Oh, okay, I can hear you now.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about the cashless financial transaction. Is one of the things that can affect business because Nigerians are not used to electronically transaction like debit card, cash, credit cards. So it can affect our business because now the CBN is trying to make laws that you use more of electronic transaction instead of cash. It can equally affect your business based on the type of people you're transacting business with.
So
My
give
own
us an example.
understanding.
How do you think this will affect businesses?
Mm. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening. We are still waiting for you. How do you think this
Okay.
will have effect on businesses?
Okay. It will have effect on business, more especially based on your customer, the kind of people that you transact business with. If there are not people that are enlightened, it will affect your sales because many of them might not be enlightened on debit transfer cards, credit cards, or all those like ATM. It's not everybody that depends on your location too. If you're in the city center, you can move. But when you're located where people who are not enlightened are, the business will not thrive.
Okay, let me give Anolua. Let me give her a chance. Anolua, help us
Okay,
shed
sir.
more light on this.
Based on monetary and fiscal policies. For instance, I would like to shed my own light based on the fact that there are now new policies regarding transactions. Initially, our transfer transactions, um it is when the buyer transfers that you get debited for your stamp duty. But
Okay.
now there's a new law whereby it was the beneficiary that gets debited for stamp duty. But now there's a new law whereby it is the customer that gets debited for stamp duty. So we're talking about monetary. When the interest rate, like when you make a transaction, the rate or the charges you get, if it is too
Mhm.
high, it can affect the business. But if it is reasonable, it can encourage a business likewise. For instance, in a previous situation where is the beneficiary that is being debited for stamp duty, you get to realize that most businesses tend to add that stamp duty, tend to add to their profit margin. And sometimes customers are not ready to pay that amount. So it can debar or reduce your customer rate.
Guys,
So
thank you. That's a good insight. You mentioned something about interest rate. Interest rate is very key and it can have serious impact on businesses. Let's say there's a business that wants to finance its operations using debt instrument. And so they look at it and say, oh, I want to go for loan in the bank. And CBN has increased the interest rate to 25%, either from 19.9% or 18.8% to 25%. What do you think is going to happen? That means this business owner is going to pay more on the loan that is going to get from the bank. That is the way it can happen. But if it comes down and the interest rate is reduced, it's very easy for businesses to actually get loans and be able to pay on time because they have they will have access to money and then they can quickly pay because the interest rate is low. Another thing we can also look at is inflation. When we talk of inflation, around last year, you will agree with me that we had, like double-digit inflation in the country. I don't know the digit presently, but I think it's coming down to maybe to a single digit, maybe like 9% thereabout now. But as at last year, we were having double-digit inflation. And you could see how things became expensive and people have to buy. You still have to buy those services. Because, for example, will you say you will not buy toothpaste? Will you say you will not buy bathing soap? Or you will not buy food to eat? You will still buy them. but the prices have gone up because of inflation across the country. So those are the ways that what that I mean those monetary and fiscal policies can have impact on businesses because it's the government that dictates or determine the interest rate as well. Also know or maybe decide they determine whether there's an inflation in the country or not. And usually inflation happens if the production is low. If there's no production going on in the country, what happens? Definitely inflation will go up. So those are the areas that I expect you to be talking about when we are talking of monetary and fiscal policies. Are we together? Are we together? Is it clear? Nobody's answering me. Hello?
I'm with you, sir.
Okay, good. So, trade policies. This one has to do with either importation and exportation. And this is what you should also understand. Okay, if I'm importing some things, I will see that the government is putting a ban on some products that enters Nigeria at this time. They will say, we don't want you to import. There was a time they said, don't import rice into Nigeria. And you could see what happened. Because as at the time, Goodluck Jonathan was the president, I remembered I bought a bag of rice at 7,500. And I told my wife, I said, this 7,500 is too much for me. I can't be buying a bag of rice at 7,500. But what happened? Few years after, the rice even reached about 88,000, 90,000 per bag. Are we saying we are not going to buy? No. And these were results of the government policy that do not import rice into Nigeria. And we are still battling with that now. Because I think last week I still asked my wife, how much is a bag of rice now? She said around 55,000. You can see that we've not really done well in that aspect, just because of a singular policy that was not well thought of, and it has really impacted the businesses as well as what? The citizens. So, do we all understand all these things that we have explained? Are we together? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, let's look at the legal and regulatory frameworks that can actually affect our business operations. Presently in Nigeria now, you agree with me that now you said most of the businesses that are operating in Nigeria should register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. So if you have a business and you're still not ready, either you register as a business entity or you register as a limited, you must register your business. So that is very critical in Nigeria. Now, Mrs. Gift, I want you to talk to us about these laws. How do you think laws that are available, how do you think they actually affect business operations? Start with uh, the CAMA and talk to us about that is Company and Allied Matters Act. How do you think this legal framework is affecting business operations? So I want to hear from you, Mrs. Gift. Mrs. Gift on this uh, meeting with us at all? Are you on this meeting so that I will not recalling you again because you are not responding fast? Okay, Hanolua, let me hear from you. How do you think that these laws, how do you think they affect business operations? I want you to talk about the karma, and then look at it. How exactly do you think it affects business operations? So let's go.
Are you hearing me now, sir? Hello, sir.
Are you really with us in this class?
Yes, sir. I don't know what's happening with my network. I heard the question, but it's unfortunate you were not hearing me when I was explaining.
Yeah, because you were still muted. So I think just stay like this, and then after that, I think it's so that you can always, you know, I think the network generally is not too good. Okay, so please go ahead, madam.
But are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you. So
Are you
we're talking
hearing me
about,
now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What
my
I was
point,
saying is that I
okay, go
heard
ahead.
your question.
Okay, go ahead.
Like last year, I initiated a business, and the first thing I did was, because of the law, I had to register the business as a business name. And after that, the tax law came up. And for now, the business, I've not started making a reasonable profit or even a profit. It's just a business that's very windy. So now, when they said the law of you must pay your tax, one of the things that comes to my mind is that how do I pay tax on a business that I've not started making profit? Like you said,
That
I
shouldn't
needed
bother you. If you understand,
equipment for this business
if
to
you
make it
understand the
run
laws
well.
and the rules
So at
for
times, some of those the laws can make, because along the line I became discouraged. So it can still happen to other people to close down their businesses. Some laws can make people to close down their business ideas. Either they must have started or along the line. So some of the policies affect our businesses, either in one way or the other. Like now, I have to pay tax when I've not started making any profit. I'm still trying to make sure that the business runs.
Okay, so let me
So this
quickly
can
tell you
deter people
that,
from getting into business.
Madam Gift, that you don't need to bother yourself about that. If you understand the principles of taxation,
Yes,
are we
sir.
together? Yes.
Yes, sir.
For you to be bothered and say, oh, because I'm not making money on this, so I want to pay tax. Which tax do you want to pay? You pay tax on the profit. And
Profit,
if you are
yes.
not making any profit in your business, then you don't pay tax. It's as simple as that. And when the government comes and they say, oh, we find out that your business is making profit, then you bring out your books. Let them look it, let
Yes.
them examine it. And then you tell them, I'm not making any profit. So I cannot
Profit,
pay
yes.
tax. So that one is understandable. So don't let that one push you into closing up your business. Please keep running your business. One day it will be what?
Okay,
Profitable.
sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir. Okay.
Yeah, Anolua, please, I want you to talk to me about karma. Corporate, Company Allied Matters Act. How do you think this law and regulation, how do you think it's affecting business operations?
Karma. Something like that.
Something.
How it's affecting. Well,
We are talking about legal and regulatory frameworks now. So that's what I'm asking you. So I want you to shed more light into it.
okay. Well, Company and Allied Matters Acts are laid down rules, like frameworks that a business should follow. For instance, in terms of maybe the incorporation of a business, maybe the um appointment of directors and the
Uh-huh,
likes, they
uh-huh,
laid down rules that has been given, and there are um documentations that are necessary for the incorporation of that business. So Kama has different laws in terms
uh,
of business, and it varies based on, like, there are some laws that deals with maybe company seal, maybe incorporation and the likes. So the most important thing is that those laws and regulations must be followed by a business in order not to roofing. And what's the English of roofing? In order not
Okay,
to
not to roofie. I agree with you.
exactly.
Okay, let me give you an example. I wanted to register a company recently. So I approached somebody. He's also a PC. So, and I asked the person, I said, okay, I want to register this company. And what is required? He said I should give the name. I said, okay, I'll give two names. So the person searched. I said, oh, the two names are here, but it's only one. They've approved one. I said, oh, awesome. And the one they approved is even the name I was even expecting, that at least I love, that I wanted them to approve. And they approved that name. Now, I said, who are going to be shareholders in the company? So I said, okay, I'm bringing myself and my son, that the two of us will be shareholders in that company. And I said, okay, good. So he asked me, I should forward the birth certificate of my son. So I forwarded the birth certificate of my son. And this is February. This thing I'm talking to you happened this February. And he got back to me and told me that my boy cannot be a shareholder in the company. I said, why? He said, because he's not up to 18 years. I said, but he's going to be 18 on the 1st of March. He said, no, even he's going to be, as of this February, he's still not 18. Are you getting it? I'm giving you an insight of how these laws can actually affect either business formation or the business operations. And I said, okay, what can we do? He said, the only thing we can do, if we want him to be on the to be registered as a shareholder, is that he cannot be a director, but I need to present another adult. So we'll now be three. Are we together? Are you listening clearly? I'm giving an example so that you understand the way this thing works and how it can affect the modus operandi of a business, and especially the formation, because we are at the formation stage. So at that point, I said, okay, maybe what I would do is this. I'll bring my wife to join and also be part of the business. So the two of us will be director, and then he will us just be a shareholder. And that was what we agreed. So in other words, there are some rules and regulations. Are them being that the PC is not aware of all this, and then he has gone ahead to go, and before you know it, it will affect the business in the long run. Are we together?
Yes.
So it's good to have the legal understanding or regulatory framework of your business, to have a clear understanding. If you don't know, you can always approach a chartered accountant or approach a lawyer. They will be able to guide you accordingly when you are when you are registering your business. We will not waste much time on that. Let's go to areas covered in legal and regulatory framework in businesses. We've already talked about some of this. We'll talk about company formation. That's the example I gave you. And registration. That is with the Corporate Affairs Commission. That is one. Taxation is another area. When you want to make taxation, when you want to pay tax now, I think, because for now, it's different from what I used to know. So, and I know everything has changed. So, even if we are ready to pay the tax, I will still need to go and study as a business owner, to go and study the tax law that has to do with what? With the company's tax, company income tax payments. So those are part of the things that you still need to know and understand how it affects your business. Labor laws. When we say labor, we are talking about the employee, the people you are bringing into your organization. How does labor law affect them? You need to also understand things that the labor law is saying, the environment. How do you protect them where they are working? You need to check all those things. And what are the benefits they are supposed to have when they are working with you? You need to check it. Labor laws. Then also we have intellectual property. How are you going to protect your intellectual property? When we talk of intellectual property, we are talking of intangible assets, intangible things of an organization or of a business that you cannot see with your eyes. You have developed an idea, you have developed different products and all that, and then you need to protect it so that you have an IP for this. And you need to know, if you want to do this, who are the regulatory body that you need to approach to help you in registering the what? The intellectual property of that particular idea. Contract law. You need to know when you are entering into a contract with another organization or with an individual, what are the things, what are the necessary things that I need to know such that I will not break the law? How do I adjust? How do I seal a contract? These are some of the things you need to know. Even if you don't know it physically, you can always engage the services of a lawyer. They will know all this if you don't want to just stress your brain, and they will be able to guide you and advise you accordingly. The financial sustainability reporting. This is very key. For every organization, it is expected that at the end of the year, you must have your financial statement ready. And this financial statement includes the income statement, includes the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. All these are necessary for you to know. Even if you are not a chartered accountant, you need to understand how are they prepared. If you don't want to stress yourself, then get the services of a chartered accountant that will be able to do this for you. And you must know, when you present, who do you present to? That means at the end of the year, you have a general meeting where the shareholders are present. And at this general meeting, then you present the financial statement, which they are going to ratify and say, yes, they agree with this. And at that point, you're also going to decide, are we giving dividends to our shareholders or not? These are some of the things you need to know in your businesses. Sector-specific regulations. Recently, the Central Bank of Nigeria came up with capitalization for the banks. That is specific. And now, any bank that refuse or did not meet this requirement, that means it's going to go down the drain. So you can see that every bank is making every effort to meet this requirement, to make sure that they are able to capitalize up to the amount that CBN has given at this time. Sector-specific regulation. So if you need to understand the sector in which you are working and know the regulations that are binding it and are surrounding it. Foreign exchange control. You need to know how foreign exchange, I will not say manipulation, I will just say maybe foreign exchange rates, how it affects your business. As at the time that dollar is being changed to, around 1,600 or 700 thereabout, you will see as a business that you are going to spend more, especially if you are going to import products from outside Nigeria. However, this becomes necessary for you to have this understanding such that you will not lose money. And so you can gazette it and look at it. Okay, now things are changing, and then you look at it and say, okay, maybe by March or April, I think the exchange rate will have reduced. already we have around 1,300, maybe around 1,002 as at that time. Then this will now give you to make what? A decision and say, let us delay the importation as at this time. And look at what happens in April. So these are very necessary in actually making decisions in your business. Data protection. Data protection is very important because every customer that comes to your company or that is using the internet to give their data to you must be protected. And we have what we call the Nigeria Data Protection Regulation, the NDPR, which you must obey to make sure that you don't sell the data of your customer to the third party. And you also protect their data against any hacking. These are very necessary in every business. And you must know how this affects your business. Corporate governance. Corporate governance has to do with how the businesses are regulated and how they are managed. From the board of directors, you look at it and say, okay, that means if I'm still a startup, is it the right time for me to have board of directors? Well, now I've been in operation for a year and or maybe 2 years. Now, at this time, we are already making money. I think we should start thinking about what? Setting up our board of directors. So these are very important. You need to look at it. Now, you as the founder, and now say, okay, yeah, I think we can have a CEO at this time. That is if you don't want to be the CEO of the organization. You have to start looking at that aspect as well. So corporate governance is important. And you must know how it works, such that you will not say because you are the CEO of an organization, then and you are not the board. Know that you are still what? Subjective to the decisions of the board. So all these things that I'm mentioning, they are very critical and they're important for you to know and to understand how it's going to affect your business. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Are we together?
Yes.
Am I making
Yes,
sense?
sir.
Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So please understand all this because all these areas can come out in your exam and they might say this and this and another. So the way you are going to explain it is what will now give an insight into, you having a proper understanding of the subject matter. Thank you. Let's continue. Importance of understanding the framework. I mentioned that you need to understand it. So what is the importance? We'll take this one by one. So, Mrs. Gibbs, talk to us about compliance. How do you think compliance, a business complying with the regulatory framework, how do you think is important? We are waiting for you. Hello? Your network again.
The
Okay.
network is breaking.
Okay, so just try. We can hear you now. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, are you hearing?
Yes, now we can hear you. Okay, without wasting time, Anolua, talk to us about compliance. How do you think compliance is important in understanding the framework that affects businesses? Anolua, unmute yourself.
Sorry, I was talking without unmuting.
Okay.
For compliance, I would say compliance majorly means that obeying those regulations that has been put in place. If you obey them, then you will not face any penalty or you will not face any fine. But without doing that, you can face penalties, there can be fines, it can even lead to winding up of such a business. So the best way is to comply with every law, every regulations that has been put in place that involves your particular business. So I would say that's what compliance means.
All right. I agree with you. If you comply, then you avoid every penalty or every legal issue that can come up from it. Fairness and transparency. For every business, you must be transparent, be open, and be fair. And with this, then you build
Are you
trust.
reading?
You build
Almost stand up.
trust. You build
You are
trust.
reading and you're speaking.
You build trust with your what? With your stakeholders.
Right.
So
What is
that's good. Hello?
the question? What's the problem?
You are saying
Why?
something?
Sorry, no, sir.
Okay. Okay. So Mrs. Gitt, are you ready to talk to us now? So, stability and predictability. This helps every business because it gives confidence to investors that yes, we can actually predict this business and we know that it's going to be a stable business. So, for businesses to operate and invest, it's good to have a stable business and also to be predictable. This works for investors, although in the other aspect, you are not expected to be predictable to your competitors. I will not say more than that. Protection of rights. Protection of rights will help you to operate on a level playing ground such that you can operate with what? With your competitors without actually getting into their space. You already have some of your things that you've already booked for, either your patents, your rights, and what have you. So they already know this is for you. So by the time you are using those things, nobody will come to you and say, "Oh, you are transferring, you are actually, stepping on our boundary." Building trust. Trust is critical in every business. You must build trust among all your stakeholders, trust among your customers. They must be able to trust you and say, yes, you can give us what we want. You must be able to build trust among your investors. They must be able to know that if they give money to you, you will not run away. If they give money to you to run the business, you will not divert the money into another thing. So these are very important. Are we together? Are we together? Nobody's answering me. Anolu, are you there? Madam Gift,
Sir,
are
I'm
you there?
with you.
I just want to be sure
I'm
so that I'm not talking to myself.
yes, sir.
Awesome. So let's continue. Models. I know you will have seen this before, especially maybe
Are you hearing me, sir?
if you, Madam Gift, you will need to do something about this, your network. Please, maybe you visit MTN office. Maybe you are using Airtel or using Glo.
No, it's MTN that I'm using. Are you hearing me now?
MTN. And maybe it's
Yes.
your area. Because like in my area now, if I use Airtel, you will not even hear anything I'm saying. I'm using Glo. You will not hear. So I want us to look at this. We will not go into detail today. We'll just talk generally on this page. Tomorrow, we'll start each of them and analyze them. But I just want to hear from you. What exactly have you heard about these two analyses? And what can you see? Just tell me. I want to feel your pulse. I want to see whether you have a better understanding of these models, because there are different models you can use in businesses and all that. Those businesses are good, but if you you develop models and you are not following it, nothing will happen. You understand? So let's go. Who wants to talk about the pestle analysis? Rihanna.
Yeah. Emo analysis
Hmm?
by model for analyze sense environment.
You would have heard of it
Ah,
before.
do I know about this?
It's just for us to just chat. We'll just chat on this page now, and then we'll move on. Tomorrow we'll complete it tomorrow. So just let us chat. Just talk to me. What do you understand about pestle analysis? Oh, yeah.
Eh, it's the political.
Madam Gift, have you heard of pestle analysis before?
I'm not conversant with pestle analysis. I'm conversant with SWOT.
Okay. So talk to us about SWOT analysis.
Okay, the SWOT analysis is like the strengths of the business, the strengths, your weakness, the opportunities, and the threats. So
Okay,
you have to
that's
take
correct.
cognizance of those
Mm-hmm.
things when you're running a business. You need to know the strengths of your business. You need to know the weakness. You need to make use of the opportunities, and you need to know your threats, as per the people who are a threat to your business.
Okay, we will talk more about it. At least I know that you have understanding now. That's good. So S is the strength, W is the weakness, O is the opportunities, and T talks about the threats. Each of these has me and there's a way of approach when you are looking at your business and you need to work around it. So pestle analysis. Remember, when we started this class, I gave an illustration. I said, look at yourself, where you are, and then look around. That's the environment. Are we together? Look around. Look around. What can you see? What is going on? What you are seeing are what? Are what this will talk about, the pestle analysis. Are we together? That's what we mean by pestle. And let me show you something. This is what it means. P stand for political. So you are going to analyze your business and look at how political environment can actually affect let me say politics. How politics can affect your business. And then you look at E, economic, the economic situation in the country, either internal or external. You can look at the economic situation in your company as well as internal. Do you have enough money to sustain you for the next 6 months? You will look at all those ones. The S is the social analysis. You will look at it. How visible are you? You know, socially, how is social environment affecting you? Your presence on social media and all those things. You will look at them. Technological. You will look at your business by considering the technological aspect of it. Is it a business that you are still running like a local business? Is it a business that you are still trying to strive, up to start using, technology? As at when are you going to be ready to use the technology? Then you look at the E, environmental. Consider the environment. And these are some of the things we're talking about. Environment. So you look at what are the things going on in your environment and how they are going. Example of the environment is, let me give you an example. Let's say, okay, like look at Israel now. You see that Israel has been in war for some time now. Within that period, from that time till now, you will see that some businesses will have closed down in history, either willingly or unwillingly, because war is going on. That is the way it is. Look at Ukraine. The whole country is shattered. The whole country is destroyed because of war. So the war alone can close down every business. Most of the businesses in Ukraine now have closed down. Even the citizens have left the country to the neighboring countries. So you can see how terrible it could be. And lastly, the legal aspect of it. So these are the 6 things that we'll be looking at and we'll be analyzing. So I will not say more than this. Tomorrow we meet. So let me ask you, any question so far? Any question?
No, sir.
Not really, sir.
You should have question. No. That means I've been talking to myself now. If you are telling me there's no question. If you have question. So you want to tell me that I'm a good tutor or what? How can you say you don't have question? You must have question. Me, I used to have question. Even if you are a good tutor, I will still ask you question. So tell me, ask me question. Oh yeah, now. I think somebody else has joined us. Chidi
Please,
Ebere.
can you help me to do your introductory recap for today?
No. They will share this video with you. Don't worry. My Oga.
Okay, the record.
Yes. Yeah. So they will share. They will share it.
Okay.
So no problem.
Okay.
You can always go through it again. I think somebody else has joined us. Chidi Ebere, Teresa. How are you, Teresa?
I'm fine, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What happened that you are just joining us this late?
I joined late. I didn't even know it was time. I was looking at 12.
Wow.
Honestly. I was thinking
Usually Saturday is 11 a.m. So don't forget again. 11 a.m.
Thank you, sir.
And there are some that you have already missed. I think you should reach out to the coordinator so that you can send the videos to you. You can actually go over those videos and read them and check some of the things. And this will also help you in your readings as well.
All right, sir. All
So
right.
tomorrow we'll be meeting again by 7 p.m. Please don't forget.
Okay, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah. So
all right.
it's okay. So this once this one is over, I think they will send Zoom will send the assets to
all right, sir.
the coordinator, so you can always get it and go over it. Okay, so thank you, everyone. If you're saying that there's no question, that's fine. Then see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Have a wonderful weekend.
Okay.
And you too, sir.
And you too, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Bye.